My final Shameless Season 2 episode review video as I've reached the Season 2 finale. Before I get into that, though, pretty important, if you aren't caught up to the point where I am at rewatching or watching Shameless, or you're just not entirely sure, then you definitely need to take the initiative and pay attention to the episode's title, which of course I'll mention, as well as put in the description for you. If that happens to be the case that you're not caught up, it would be my recommendation that you don't watch this video any further to avoid any potential spoilers. And while I never did reviews of Shameless on this channel when Shameless was airing, I did do a series finale rant video. So if you've seen every single episode of Shameless and want to jump ahead a little bit to hear my thoughts regarding the clusterfuck that was the series finale, click right here with about 20 seconds left to go in the video. It's the end credits. I'll put a link for that video right there so you can check it out. And let me know what you think about this, or that I should say. This will be Shameless, Season 2, Episode 12, the Season 2 finale. The title of this episode is called Fiona Interrupted. And this will be my review, reaction, recap after just finishing watching the episode. Frank's stumbling around outside, screaming for Monica. He's outside the hospital. A security guard tells him visiting hours are over. Come back in the morning. Jody and Karen talk about hiding the baby, perhaps in the attic or in the dryer. The Gallaghers have arrived home from the hospital. Fiona looks devastated, looking at all of Monica's blood on the kitchen floor. She starts to cry while cleaning it up. She says, "Poor kids," and Jimmy says they're already pretty fucked up. They've already seen a lot of shit. Lip returns to the hospital to see Karen, so Lip has changed his tune and wants to still work things out with Karen, even though she's a bitch for not wanting to even see her child, touch her child, or anything like that. Jimmy was going to talk to Fiona and says he was going to talk to Fiona, says Fiona, and then Fiona starts to kiss him. And then Fiona wants him to come back to the bedroom, and they start to make love, well, until Debbie comes in and starts to cry. Carl also joins as Fiona comforts both Carl and Debbie, as Ian looks on in Fiona's doorway. Frank wakes up in a random place outside. Karen wakes up with Lip there. She says someone stole the baby, says it may have been her mom. I just realized that Sheila left the house in the last episode to go to the hospital, and they didn't really touch upon the fact that she just randomly decided to leave the house. Like, there was nothing that made her leave the house. Whoop-de-doo, a baby's on the way. You know how fucked up Sheila is. Karen doesn't want to be anywhere near the baby. That's just a bad attitude. Jimmy wakes up next to Debbie and Carl as Fiona is already up downstairs making breakfast. Ian finds out that it's just Jimmy now, as Steve was just a name he used to steal cars. He didn't want anyone to be able to track him down. Fiona tells Jimmy she wants to meet his family. Frank gets to meet with Monica. She tells Frank that she committed herself for 60 more days as she isn't well. Monica says she's where she needs to be, as Frank had mentioned that she belongs with us at the Gallagher house. V asks Fiona to borrow a cup of cocaine. V isn't calling Steve Jimmy. She knows him as Steve. Frank comes home as Fiona tells him he needs to get Monica out, or he tells Fiona that they need to get Monica out, and Frank says Monica isn't better on her meds. Fiona passed the GED test. Karen comes home, and Karen asks where the baby is. She tells Sheila to give back the baby. Karen tells Lip to get out, as Lip was taking Sheila's side. Sheila says, Karen, no. He is staying here with her. I don't know why I keep messing up what I'm saying here all of a sudden, but I am. Fiona goes to the Melkovich house looking for Lip. She does see Lip there, and she tells him that she passed the GED, and she tells him a deal is a deal. He has to go back to school. Lip doesn't agree with that anymore, and then Fiona leaves. Jimmy says it's official. Dinner with his parents. Frank, with a relative of Tommy's, gets into the treatment center or wherever Monica was committed for at least an additional 60 days overnight, and Debbie's with him, hiding in the wastebasket on the cart. Karen calls the cops on Sheila for stealing her baby. Tommy comes to ask questions. Tommy and his partner decide the baby is actually in good hands with Sheila, and they leave, and obviously Karen is pissed. Kermit is also at the treatment center. He just tells Frank where Monica is, and then it's kind of forgotten about. Turns out Monica has a new girlfriend, Jill. Introduces her to husband Frank, or deadbeat Frank, as you want to call him. Chip, Jimmy's brother, is being an asshole during dinner, and it turns out Jimmy's father is Ian's sugar daddy. Jimmy's dad tells Ian he's not gay, but he's down for anything. Jill's in the treatment center because she shot her husband 26 times. Carl stole a knife. What the hell is up with my speaking all of a sudden? Carl stole a knife from the fancy restaurant. Jimmy tells Fiona that he loves her. He's not going to leave this time. All of a sudden, Estefania shows up at the Gallagher house and needs help. Mandy wakes up topless and Lip isn't in bed. He's outside smoking, thinking about Karen. Frank gets Monica and Jill out. The security guard stops Frank, but he's still able to talk the security guard and, okay, well, whatever, and then leave. Monica and Jill end up taking the car and leave Frank and Debbie there, as Monica told Debbie they're better off without her. Lip went back to school to take the AP Physics final. He goes to tell Karen, and she doesn't seem to care. Karen tells Sheila it's her or the baby. Sheila chooses the baby, and Karen leaves. Lip tells Karen she's going to regret this. Ian was going to tell Fiona about Jimmy's dad, Lloyd, but Frank arrives home. He's annoyed. He takes Ian's beer. Ian grabs it back, and a scuffle ensues. Because Frank was roughing up Ian, Estefania hits Frank with a frying pan because he hit a child. Men who hit women and children get a frying pan, Estefania says. They carry Frank out to the lawn. Lip comes back home. Fiona is so happy, along with everybody else, but Fiona is very relieved. Jimmy and Fiona wake up with Fiona naked. Boobies! Love Emmy Rossum's boobies. And Jimmy and Fiona do it again, since they have some time, even though it's a school day. Lip gets on the couch with Estefania, as she's so cold, and he's hot. And Frank wakes up covered in snow out in the yard. And that's what ends the episode and season 2 of Shameless. So this was okay. I felt slightly let down in this finale. I think if they would have ended with the last episode, with the events that took place in the last episode, it would have been a better finale. I'm still going to score the episode an 8.4 out of 10. I like a lot of stuff that happened in the episode. I like what Lip did. I like what Fiona does. I like what Jimmy does. I'm going to give Fiona the character of the episode as far as the females go. And, well, Jimmy is the male character of the episode. Frank, you could argue, but I'm going to give it to Jimmy this time. Fiona and Jimmy all the way, and I apologize for my slurred speech during this review. I'm not really sure why I'm having issues talking. I really am not. Any event, you've heard what I have to say. Now, of course, it's your turn if you're a fan of Shameless and want to help me out with the YouTube algorithm, the good old YouTube algorithm. Go ahead and Hulk smash that like button. Share this video with anybody you know. Put this video on any one of your social media platforms. Don't forget to sound off in the comment section about what your thoughts are on the episode. You don't have to agree with me. We all can have a different opinion. But what would you score the episode? I gave it an 8.4. Perhaps you give it a lower or higher score. And let me know who your male and female character of the episode is. And if you want to rate the season overall, that's fine too. I think I'm going to give Season 1 a slight nod over Season 2 because I think the finale of Season 2 wasn't as strong. The episode before that, though, was really good. And then last but certainly not least, don't forget to hit that sub button. Subscribe to the channel, you're already watching the video, join the team, show your damn support, and be a part of something special, and JDev will return.